So the pirate walks into the bar.
Yeah.
Hugh,
Yes.
Who are you?
And
why do we care?
I am the founder, managing partner for Heavy Seas Beer in Baltimore, and the answer is we really don't care. I started brewing professionally back in 1989. So I'm one of the official old guys of this whole thing, and every time I begin to not think that way, my wife reminds me, so it's pretty easy. But no, I started brewing in '89. My family had what became the first brew pub in the state of Maryland, and then I left that company in '94 to start this, and we're now in our 21st years of brewing. Well, why should one barrel age beers? Well, because it's interesting. I mean, if you're a cook, you have a perfect recipe. And if you're in the restaurant business and people are buying that recipe, then you want to do that recipe every single time, almost exactly the same. But then when you're not serving that to the customer, you want to screw around with it a little bit and see, oh, what can I do now? Well, that's kind of where that comes from, except I get to sell it. So, we've been doing it for a long time. We really enjoy the barrel projects. I mean, we do, whiskey barrel, we've done rum barrel, we're doing a bunch of wine barrel projects. We're about to start doing some rye whiskey barrel, which is sort of obviously a variation on that theme. It's a lot of fun. One of the things that we've done, in particular with our spirits barrel-aged products, is we've come to the conclusion that less is more. So our bourbon barrel-aged pumpkin ale, for example, the Greater Pumpkin, that's really only in those barrels for about 8 weeks. A lot of people leave them in there for a really long period of time. What we've found is it's much more interesting if you have a kiss of the flavor profile, not a bludgeon. I mean, if I want to drink bourbon, and I have been known to drink bourbon, if I want to drink bourbon, I'll put bourbon on the rocks, thank you very much, but I don't want to necessarily feel like I'm drinking a glass of bourbon when I'm having a beer. Whichever one we're releasing now. Although we did, right, absolutely. Today's the Greater Pumpkin. In a couple of weeks, it'll be the 21st anniversary beer. Actually, one of the more interesting ones that we just released, and I can't remember whether any of it got to this market, but we did a revision version of our Red Sky at Morning, which was Chardonnay barrel aged. We did it last year, and it was only 2 months. We did it this year, it was 9 months in freshly dumped Chardonnay barrels from California. It's off the hook. So right now, that's probably the one that I've found to be really the coolest that we've done in a long time. Yeah, it's really nice.
What was it, flavor-wise, what was the difference between?
Well, we also changed the yeast, so it's got a little bit of sort of a funk coming up, just a hint of a souring factor, but the vanilla oak just comes screaming through. And it's really well integrated, so it's not like the big oaky California shards where you feel like they're sucking on a splinter.
Right.
I mean, it's there, but I'm tickled pink with it. It was wonderful.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's cool.
so the pirate walks into the bar, and when the pirate walks into the bar, the bartender looks down and he noticed that he has a steering wheel sticking out of his posterior. He says, "Oh man, that's really gonna hurt." He says, "Yeah, it's driving me nuts." So on that note, how was the show, Mrs. Lincoln? Right.